All right, hello, welcome. I am your host, King Alonso, with you back in another video. And today we're gonna be playing Tekken 7. But not just that, this is gonna be the first ever episode of Talk and Play. Yes, Talk and Play. This is gonna be a thing I'm gonna do where I talk about stuff that's happened recently or something that you will see like last year that I couldn't really talk about. So yeah, we're gonna get into it. And obviously we're gonna be doing some Tekken 7. So yeah, that's why it's called Talk and Play. So let's get into it. Who am I going to use actually before I should start talking about it? I think I'm going to use Steve because Steve's actually kind of goaded. So, one thing we're going to talk about mostly is stuff that's happening recently. While, some stuff, I got a couple of things that's old, but, I think I'm going to go with the new stuff at first, see some stuff that's happening around the world. Let's see how it's going to work. First off, let's talk about congratulations to my idol, Cristiano Ronaldo, for winning, of course, the if I'm pretty sure. I think it's the Saudi Arabian League. I think it's a great. I was actually kind of happy. Because He's technically the best in the world for doing this. Technically, if you really think about it, though, because think about it. I don't think Messi ever made a championship. He probably did. He never actually won a championship back with. I don't think he actually won a championship with, you know, PSG at one point. So I feel like Ronaldo gave me the go because of this. Like obviously the World Cup's coming up, so he could win the World Cup. But I feel like also it's like, we still got this dude at the age of 41 still winning, still about to make some goals, getting closer to goals 1,000. But beside that, I just want to say congratulations, Cristiano Ronaldo, for doing that. As a Portuguese man, I'm proud of you, and I'm happy, and I can't wait for the World Cup to come up. I always would have bet on Portugal winning because, as we see, we have a great team. We got, of course, Bruno Fernandes, Rafael Leao, Neves, Cristiano Ronaldo, Bruno, uh, my fault, Silva, Bernardo Silva, Joao Felix. Like we have all these guys, and of course, they're kind of still great. I ain't told you. I see Joao Felix, and while he's still in the Saudi League, he's doing way better generally. So it's like at this point, we might actually see a chance of them actually becoming the greatest players. I'm not gonna lie. I can see a chance of them actually winning the cup because it's been years since we actually saw something like this. So imagine him winning the cup. I would technically say Ronaldo will be the best player of all time if he actually wins. Generally, though, easily, I just think that because like, hello, you won almost every single trophy. You deserve a cup. But beside that, let's talk about a whole different. I think we're gonna have to talk about the fact. Let me see. So of course, Champions League happened. We got PSG won the Champions League so far. Congratulations to PSG. I was a little bummed out when Real Madrid didn't win the. I think it was a match against. I don't know how to say the name right. Bayern Munich, whatever like that. The Germany team with Harry Kane. I was bummed out about it, but I wasn't ultra mad about it because it's really not that deep. I don't really know. It's just games, but sadly, when I was watching it on Paramount Plus, I got a little sad because I always wanted him to win. Real Madrid hasn't won since like not really a decade. It's not as bad as Barcelona, but still, sadly, I don't think they're not really going to be as close as they were as close. But congratulations to PSG for making two times champion, and yeah. Also, I don't know if it's going to be 100%, but I heard that the Rafael Leao is going for. He wants to talk about leaving AC Milan for another team. If I'm correct, he says probably Manchester United. And can I say I'm kind of excited about that? Generally, I tried to play FIFA. I played FC 26, and I put him on a team with Manchester United, and I thought he was doing good. So it could be possible. It can't be. It's not as deep. Like it's not gonna be a worse dilemma because he has Bruno. Bruno can just give him a lot of assists today. We'll talk about that later. And like it's crazy though because I think if if he wins, if he actually goes there, they might actually become the greatest team again. So it's like awesome. But hopefully he do. So what else? Also Bruno Fernandes going crazy this season. He has the most assists I think this season. I don't know if I'm bugging or not, but I think he has like 29 or something like that assists. So congrats on Bruno because I was actually not expecting him to go that crazy. But you know what? I'm happy because we gotta. That just shows that he'll be great for the World Cup. So most definitely, yeah. Let's switch to sport. Let's do basketball. As you know, Knicks. Shout out to my hometown. Shout out to everything New York Knicks. We made it to the finals after years, bro. After years of nothing, we finally make it to the finals. I just wish Carmelo Anthony was the one who did it, but I'm so happy Jalen Brunson was the one who gave us something that we really needed. So thank you, Jalen Brunson. Thank you, Carl Anthony Towns. Thank you all every player generally. Because if it wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't even make it this far. Recently, I think yesterday, if I'm correct, we just won against the San Antonio Spurs by 5 points. So I'm kind of happy about that. Generally, I'm kind of happy because like I said, we haven't won one since like I think the '90s or the '80s. Back when who was it? I forgot. Julius Erving, I think his name is, or somebody like that. I forgot. I'm not from the '90s or the '80s. I'm happy that we might actually win it. Obviously, we're facing up against Victor Wembanyama, so I'm kind of scared. I'm not gonna lie, I am kind of scared, but I'm not super scared. I'm not crying, or I'm not shivering in me timbers. But it's gonna be like watch our backs and shit because we still got Victor, who beat the OKC recently. So it's like, of course, we gotta what's the word I'm thinking? We gotta be like guard up respectfully. So yeah. Something else that happens. Oh yeah, Nate Diaz, my favorite fighter of all time. This might be a little late, but of course he had a match recently. He finally went in MMA. I'm so happy because that's one of my favorite fighters of all time. One of the people I look up to as a fighter. He came from Stockton, California, so it was an underground type story. So sadly, yeah, but I'm happy he didn't win. Of course, Mike. I think his name is Mike Perry or something. He won. He didn't Nate Diaz didn't win, but I'm just kind of happy that he got close enough. So yeah, but it was also great to see him back, though. Most definitely, it was great to see him back. But yeah, Sally is gone. All right, I don't know if I want to save this for later. I don't know really much to talk about because this is the first episode, and I don't even know how long I've been talking for. So yeah, but I'm thinking about bringing some guests over next time. Most definitely, I might bring some guests like my friends to talk about some stuff that's happening right now. And the new Talk of Play series. So yeah, but let me just do some little updates about everything on my channel. I know I've been gone a lot. After my last video, I figured maybe I should take a break because I got a lot of views on that video. Thanks to everybody who I showed all my things to, especially all my friends who were on Snapchat who supported it, bro. So thank y'all for supporting me. But I think I might come back. I'm thinking about making a couple projects here and there. I might do some gameplays here and there so I can get some views up. But because as y'all can see, I did make a video. But I want to, I want to continue it because I don't want to just let go of this channel without knowing that maybe I could be something in YouTube. So it's like, I don't want to let go. But sometimes I really got stuff going on in my life where I gotta not really post. But I'm doing some projects for sure. I'm doing some projects. So don't think like, oh, he's not doing anything. He's probably just waiting, or he's just over here sitting on his ass. Nah, I'm definitely doing some projects. I was working on some earlier, so yeah. All right, let's talk about the big projects. If of course, the one and only Adrian Harden, who's known as the YouTube troll. Not to be rude or nothing. A troll is somebody who does a couple of things. I would call a YouTube troll. Somebody who jokes around, who goes out in the world and just troll around and shit. Do funny shit for likes, subscribers, and all that. But they're not as bad people. They're just doing it to make people happy no matter what, though. So it's like not as like I'm disrespecting or nothing for sure because they're cool peoples. Most definitely. Junior, I think his name is. Junior J. Khan, I think his name is. Lee and Adrian Harden. He doesn't know as much, but yeah, those guys, they're not bad people. They're just guys who just going around and interacting with people who are just mindset of an NPC. And I gotta respect that because people need to light up a lot. So I gotta respect on everything they do. But that's not the point. Everybody knows Adrian Harden, the one of the famous trolls that you will see. He doesn't really troll as much as he does before, back when he was hungry for YouTube, I guess. But he's still a legendary troll. He's like the same exact one as Gideon. Like Gideon was a legendary troll before he started doing predator catching and before he was believing in Christ. So like they're definitely more respected. We're gonna talk about Gideon after this situation. So basically, I want to talk about the fact about people who kind of just, gotta shut their mouth sometimes. Generally, I'm not saying that's a disrespectful way, but like, guys, relax. So there was a recent video that DJ Harden made. It was basically a video. It's like, his average videos. Like he does like different side quests and shit. Like he does those different things here and there. And one of them was, of course, meeting up with a porn star. I'm sorry, I don't think I can say that word. If I get demonetized, I'm sorry. Violet Myers, who everybody probably knows. You even gotta watch her type of videos to know who she is. But I feel like a lot of people should know her. Like, come on. She was number 2 in the star ranking, so I feel like people should know her. My personal opinion about her is I don't dislike her. I don't, disgust of her because, you gotta make your money up some way. It might not be the best way, but it's still some way to do it. Because, money is money, it's 2026. Uh, what's it called? I forgot how to say the word, but, money shit is hella expensive these days. So it's like, you gotta just lock in sometimes. You gotta just make your money how whatever you like, any way possible type shit. So I can't really hate on her because she just trying to make her money up. So that's why. But I was always questioning like why would she do it? So mind you, that was like before I knew her, like before I watched the video. So the video came out. It was just them on a boat with him, her, and the homeboy Sammy. Shout out to Sammy. He cool as fuck, chill guy. They were talking to her, she was all right. She seemed like a normal person, kind of like everybody else. She was more of a normal person like us. So, like, she was always talking about her life, love life. She's talking about who she is, person. She seemed kind of shy as a person, so, and shit. And that's not really dependent on the point. I'm just trying to tell y'all how she is as a person. And, it's not anything like weird and shit, they're not really doing anything crazy, like some weird shit. I mean, they were saying some stuff that was interesting, but I wouldn't really say like, ew, are you over here acting like this 24/7? Like, nah, they were just normal people just talking shit in a jokefully way. So the video got posted, and I guess everybody was like kind of disappointed. They're like questioning Adrian Harden's, Christianity, how he follows God and stuff. Just trying to down bad him for talking to a person like this, trying to talk about he's dating her and stuff because the, literally the title of the video was meeting my new girlfriend or whatever like that. And as a person, I was like, what the hell is wrong with people? Because I didn't really see the comments or I didn't comment or nothing. But the next video, I think a couple hours after that, I think it was like yesterday, I think I saw it this morning, I think. Because, I have a bad sleep schedule and shit. And I saw the video. It was a video on his other channel, DH Live. He was like talking about how people did not like how he, was hanging out with a person like that. And he brought his mom, Mama Harding, shout out to her, good person. And I was like, like I said, I didn't really hate her or nothing. God, by the way, I commented on the video too, by the way, because, I want to say my beliefs on it too. Because knowingly, I didn't like her or nothing. Because I believe if you get with somebody like that, it's not a bad thing, because it's just like, I feel like the only bad thing about it is you're gonna get people to judge you. It's not really about the person gonna do some weird shit. It's just like the people's gonna judge you about it, no matter what though. And that's just like it's kind of like a mindset challenge. It's a mind war when you get to a person like that. So it's like I didn't really think of her as a bad person that like because she's doing what she's doing. It's just gonna be like if you date that person, you're gonna have to have a great mindset because people will just judge you 24/7 and shit. So like you're gonna have to lock in and be careful what people say to you. But beside that, he was to talk about the fact that I don't really remember too much because I like watched like half the video, then I commented. But I guess he was just showing his beliefs how you don't need to be you don't have to be super good to follow God. There's not always one path. There's always different passes. That's kind of how I kind of seen it, and I kind of respect on that because like the people who are commenting on the video saying like questioning his beliefs on God is kind of annoying. I'm not as a belief of God as like I'm not really as religious as a lot of people are. I think I'm like mildly like I do believe there's a creator. I do believe there's Jesus. I do believe in the Holy Spirit. I do believe there's a Satan. So yeah, but I'm not as like go to church 24/7. Read the Bible or nothing. Say have like a little Bible word or whatever you want to call it, Bible sentence on anything But I also think, yeah, like I said, I think there's a creator, I think there's a Jesus, and I think, there's a Holy Spirit and a Satan. So yeah. But I kind of just like didn't like how they disrespected him and her. Because like by her, aka Violet Myers, I don't think she's a bad person for what she does. She's just trying to make her money. Like I said, in 2026, in this generation, bro, it's hard to make money. It's hard to, you know, it's hard to do a lot of things in this generation. While people, it's hard to even do anything right now than it was before. I feel like, because you can. It's like shit is mad expensive these days. It's like it's hard to find a job and all that. So I understand everything. So it's like what she's doing, it's risky and it's kind of questionable, but it's not wrong because it's like what he said. Why is she in the wrong one for making the videos if y'all the ones who watching them? That's the problem. Why do you think she's number second in the rank? Like he said, she's number second in the ranking for a reason. It's not because what she doing is what she doing. It's because y'all niggas is the ones who's watching her videos. So it's like, why are people questioning her for what she doing if y'all the ones who are watching the videos? Hello, y'all chose to watch the videos or, her movies as they call it. So like, it's like, don't get mad at her for what she doing if y'all the ones who are really watching it. Y'all can't get mad at her and name her or look at it weirdly, which y'all the ones who want to watch the videos. Like, that's generally factual. That's what he said, and that's what I personally think too. So yeah, and him, he's a great guy. Like, dude spent, like he said himself, he spent $16,000 on a homeless person who was also part of that video too. So not the, how he thought about the comments video, but the main video where she was in it. So it's like, why are they thinking about the bad things and thinking him as a bad person for bringing one person to the video when he did something way better? Hello, he gave a homeless person $6,000. He gave him a hotel twice. He is not a bad person. Now, yes, he has a weird, like, yes, he has a different way of, following God. Everybody has a different way of following God. But it's like, it's not as bad as, at least he's doing what he's doing. At least he's going to heaven no matter what, though. So why are y'all hating on him? Generally, it's you acting like what he's doing is going to be, he's becoming the next Satan for talking to a OnlyFans model. Like, no. What he's doing over here is just showing people who she is while he's still following God. And she also follows God. So y'all gonna disrespect her because she does a risky thing? Like, no. That's something that just really pissed me off. Because, like, generally, though, y'all can't be mad at people for, making money. That's all I'm gonna say. This is my main one. Y'all can't be mad at people for making money. Y'all are dick riding people for making money. Like, who the fuck? It's like, I guess, like, if it's a jealousy thing, I understand. But don't hate somebody because they making more money for you. Don't be on them because they're doing a weird thing of making money. Hello, at least they're making money though. At least they're surviving. This is hard to survive. Hello, we got a whole virus coming up soon. We got everything. Y'all want to talk about some? Oh, she's a OnlyFans model. She does this and that. Like, please, nigga, please shut up. I'm not defending her. I'm just saying what's facts though. Because I don't know her as a person, so I shouldn't be defending her like this. I don't watch that type of stuff, obviously, so why would I defend her like this? But I'm just saying how I really felt in those situations, most definitely. And yeah, never ever. The lesson of the day is in this situation is never, never judge a person, or never. I wouldn't really say don't judge a book by its cover, but kind of that too. But most definitely don't never judge a person for what they do, because like I said, at least they doing what they doing and being successful with it. Like she said, she gave her mother a house. She gave her family houses. She helps her family out too. So it's like, she a good person herself, and she Catholic. She believes in God too. So it's like, hey, put some respect on her name, respect others and shit. And yeah. All right, next topic. I feel like it's gonna be the last topic because I don't know how long I've been recording for. 19 minutes. That's not bad. I think the last topic I'm gonna say is probably the Gideon situation that's currently happening, I guess. So there was a guy who was making content that was fucked up. Apparently, he kept calling people, mostly black people, of course, the N-word to make him go near him so we can go shoot him. And of course, actually, one of those was actually successful. He actually shot a black person around a lot of people, so he had a lot of people endangered, and he got arrested. Thank God. And his bond, I think it's called bad a bid, whatever. Like how you pay to get somebody to escape. His shit was going up to $1 million, and a predator that who was kind of like had a lot of he had a wrong history. I think he was racist or whatever. Yeah, he was racist, and everybody didn't like him. But thanks to a person named, of course, Gideon, who was a OG troll, who of course moved himself to becoming a Christian, to now catching predators to help everybody. Was actually showing people that he wasn't a bad guy, and yeah, he thought he would change him, but he was wrong because that same person, I think his name was Alex. Yeah, Alex, who supports the guy who shot that black person, who's racist, the black person, gave him 10,000, donated him $10,000 for him to get out of jail. So of course Gideon heard about this, and there was a whole, I think it was on Instagram Live saying that his that person getting out of jail is more important than catching predators. And Gideon heard about it, and Gideon, obviously his mission is always to kick out, or put all those bad, all them bad people, I guess, like all those predators in jail any means necessary. Not really any means necessary, but always to get those people to go to jail no matter what, because they're bad people. Yes, some of them don't really mean it. They're, some of them, of course, in my opinion, some of them had bad history, who's been, had trauma back in past, but it's still wrong to do it no matter what, though. So it's like, obviously, yeah. So, of course, Gideon heard of what he did, and Gideon, who, does credit cards with this guy, said, you know what, I want to made a video about, his plans with him, and he think about, not working with Alex, talking about how the fact that he will support a person who's racist to black people and who shot a black person for no reason, just because of his skin color. And when I saw this video, I was wow, because I actually didn't really understand Alex's backstory. If you were talking about it, the history about him being racist, but I never really cared about it. All I cared about was seeing who, if somebody got predator catched. And of course, like I said, Gideon giving people second chances. The guys from, I think it was a racist town where he went to a racist town, and he was friends with a racist person who I think was part of the KKK, if I'm correct. And it was I guess the dude who was part of the KKK was actually turning out to be cooler than before. So it was W's, I guess. And it was Gideon, being a good person, wanted to give Alex a second chance, making him realize that, hey, you can't be racist. A lot of people are dead ass want to give you a second chance and shit. I think people are finally friends with you and stuff. And, I think Alex was starting to actually be cool because, they look like, Alex and Gideon look like they were actually having good chemistry and all that as a predator catchers. So it was okay, maybe they're actually going to be good friends and shit. Maybe Alex is not a racist. But then it comes to this nigga now over here giving $10,000 for a donation to a literal predator. But not predator, my fault. A racist man who shot a black person for no reason, baiting him to go to his car so he can shoot him for no reason, just because he's black. It's yeah, it's no more. So Gideon said, fuck him. He didn't really say fuck him. He just said, oh, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna be friends with him. I'm not gonna, associate with him. You're never gonna see him in the channel again. And I respect that because, I mean, Alex was doing his part. I like how professional he was when it comes to predator catching. But the fact that he did that dumb shit, supporting somebody who is racist to people for no exact reason, it's yeah, no, I'm sorry, but you gotta go. You generally gotta go because that had me mad. And now, I don't know what's gonna happen after. I can't lie. I really don't know. I'm really not confused because, I just learned about this today. But I just hope that, Alex gets the hate that he does. I hope that person who's in jail, who was the racist one, of course, he don't get out forever, bro. Stay your ass in there forever, bro. Fuck you. Generally, fuck you. Yeah. Let's talk about the videos. Like I said, I might post some gameplay videos here and there. Might do another play and talk. But maybe I'll do a big project because, I'm starting to do editing a lot. And I'm editing this one project that I'm probably going to finish, I think, maybe after I'm done moving because I'm going to move next month. So, yeah, I might actually start doing that. Maybe I'll start working on it. I don't know. But I think I might just start, I think for now on, I might just continue making gameplay videos and play and talk so I can at least, keep the algorithm coming up, so I can keep posting. So, yeah, projects might come soon. hopefully I get some guests for the next play and talk. But yeah, that'll be mostly it. Like and subscribe, of course. So you can get another one of these, or support your channel. Because I'm kind of coming back. So yeah, and yeah, I will see y'all later. Pieces.